What's going on, Jeromes? Beautiful Tuesday. It's a beautiful day for some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions on the community tab. First up is Milkman. What is your favorite Viking game and franchise moment? Favorite game, Vikings Bills 2022. Favorite moment, Minneapolis Miracle. I feel like by default we have to say Minneapolis Miracle. Favorite moment. It's good times. Beating down the Saints. Would have been nice to show up against the Eagles in the NFC title game. Nah. But random, my favorite game is a game that the Vikings lost. 2011, way back in the day. First year of Leslie Frazier, the Vikings were adrift, not having a good season. And 2011 was the Tebow Mania run, right? And the Broncos ended up being 7-5 after the game. They won in Mall of America Field, historic Mall of America Field, 35-21. And this box score is just lunacy. Timothy Tebow, 10 of 15. That's actually good for him. 202 and 2 touchdowns, as well as Willis McGahee. That's just the U being the U, baby. Run for 100 yards. Lance Ball in there, too. Demaryius Thomas, 4 catches for $144 and 2. Demaryius Thomas, rest in power. How the hell is he averaging like 35 yards a catch? It's ridiculous. Eric Decker, pride of the Gophers in there as well. Eddie Royal is great. For the Vikings, Christian Jerome, Ezekiel Ponder, 47 pass attempts. It's probably 47 more than he should have attempted. For 381 and 2 picks. Jumpin' Joe Webb tossed one in there too. Adrian must have been hurt this game, so Gerhardt and Percy were carrying the load, as well as Lorenzo Booker. Devin Aromashadu was your second leading receiver behind Percy, 6 for 90. But Percy Harvin was so damn good, man. 8 for $156 and 2. I mean, it was just good. Shanko, Rudy, Stephen Burton. This game had everything. It was just so ridiculous because this game went back and forth all damn day, and at the end the Vikings came up short, but it was peak Tebow mania. So it was hilarious, man. Next, the Bogs of Mordor. Can you please explain how compensatory picks work? Where did they come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Do they just make up picks during the 32 picks of a round? Is mainly the question. So, broad strokes. Compensatory picks are tacked on to the back end of the 3rd through 7th rounds. 32 are spread out throughout the league. Team can have a maximum of 4. And basically, do you lose more free agents with expiring contracts, not cut players, expiring contracts, than you sign free agents with off of expiring contracts, not cut contracts? All right, so that's basically what it comes down to. And it's a way of rebalancing things, and it's one of the ways that the league keeps pushing this towards parity, where if you lose more free agents than you sign with qualifying contracts, you get compensatory picks. And conversely, if you buy more than you lose, like you get 0. So that's perfectly fine either way. But the Vikings right now, after losing Darnold and Cam Robinson, are set up because the other picks cancel each other out. Beasley for Fries, Jones for Kelly, Pat Jones second for Isaiah Rodgers, and it has to have to be up at a certain level to qualify for the round. I think right now the line of demarcation is about $3.5 million. So if Seattle wanted to sign Shaq Griffin back for $4 million, we'll take that. Certainly will. But that's basically the gist of it. And it is a game within the game situation because is it the be-all, end-all? No. But is it something that teams with healthy roster construction do frequently? Yes. Yes, it is. Next. R-free. There seems to be a definite shift in the league, but more importantly, the Vikings to focus on the run game. Will Kevin O'Connell actually stick with a young quarterback under center, or once under live fire, will he go back into his previous tendencies of relying on the passing game? I think that it gets a lot easier if we're able to consistently run the ball well, right? And, Kevin O'Connell's not a dummy, even though he is a quarterback by nature and he wants to fire the effing pigskin all over the lot. And he will be tempted because J.J. McCarthy has a hose for an arm, and he does threaten every single blade of grass. But it's a lot easier to stick with the run game when the run game is working. And with the Vikings now, with the improved offensive line, with Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones back, Aaron Jones getting less work, so he's going to be fresher later in games later in the season, it makes sense because it's easy to get away from the run if every single time you run the ball on first down, it's 3rd and 9 versus if it's 3rd and 4, right? So I think that running the ball efficiently and effectively will give Kevin O'Connell more faith in it, and he won't just go pass because of McCarthy. Plus, McCarthy, first-year starter, he's one of the best play-action quarterbacks to come out of college in quite some time. He was under center a lot in college, which doesn't really happen anymore. So I think he's going to stick with what works. Plus, McCarthy off of play action, hitting JJ deep. Let's go. Ethan Griffith, OG Jerome. Would you trade 24 for Seattle's 50, 52nd, and 234 in the 7th round? We would come out ahead on the trade value charts and keep on saying how the talent plateau from 15 to 70. So, I mean, because in the Fitzgerald-Spielberger chart, the Vikings just dominate this trade. Like, they whoop somebody's ass. Now, Seattle would have to be coming up for someone very specific. So there would have to be a very specific crush. Maybe if there's a run on offensive tackles, maybe Seattle gets all up in there. But other than that, like if I'm Seattle, I'm keeping my powder dry. That 50 and 52 pick are going to be hugely valuable. So I may pass on the situation if I'm Seattle. But I mean, the Vikings certainly would take advantage. Even if you have to package up, say, the 5th rounder or a future pick to help supplement some of this pick, I wouldn't mind sliding down from 24 to 50 and 52. Not at all. Give me good to go. Lastly, Cody Pierce, another OG Jerome. If a Luther Burden III, LB3, or Tet McMillan fall to us, would you consider taking them and then trading Addison for draft capital in 2026? I would consider taking them. I wouldn't necessarily have to trade Addison, where Addison, both players will be on the rookie contract, so you're not saving like cap-wise. But in terms of capital, I mean, Addison's under a contract for another year and then a 5th-year option. So you're going to have time to trade him if that's a route you do want to go on. Or you could trade him in season at the deadline. But it would be nice because I think LB3 situates nicely in the slot. I think Egbuka would cover a lot of the same ground as well. Tet's interesting because there's a high variance of opinion on Tet. So I know everyone's saying like, well, a receiver who's on a 4.55 hasn't been drafted in X part of the first round and blah blah blah. But Tet's different, man. High football IQ, works, gets after things. Just a huge catch radius. Like him and Noah in Arizona were just a lot of fun together. And I would consider Tet a lot because I think that Tet could play that X position. Jefferson would be freed up to move all over the formation, and McCarthy needs a tall receiver. That's what it is. And it's tough to explain. Like, his game does have shades of Mike Evans, except he's not Mike Evans, if that makes sense. But yeah, LB3 Buka, if they're available at 24, would give huge consideration to that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens in the draft. But that's it. That's at Q&A for this beautiful day. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol, production value.